This is Chicago's very own WGN News at 9.
Good evening, I'm Ray Cortopassi.
And I'm Dana Rebick in for Micah Mater. We begin tonight with breaking news in the landmark Ed Burke corruption trial. This afternoon, a jury convicted the city's longest-serving alderman of racketeering, attempted extortion, and bribery. WGN's Mike Lowe is here. He covered the whole trial and joins us with the latest on this one.
And of course, Ed Burke wielded an almost mythical power in the city of Chicago, controlling the city's purse strings as the powerful Finance Committee chairman. He served for 54 years before stepping down. Now his legacy is tarnished by this guilty verdict.
Jennifer, you come with us?
Ed Burke, the legendary practitioner of Chicago-style politics, saw his career end like so many of the city's elected officials, wrapped in the infamy of a federal conviction.
Alderman Burke obviously joins a long list of corrupt city council aldermen who have been convicted of corruption charges over here in federal court.
Burke is now the 38th Chicago alderman to be convicted of a crime since 1968. The 79-year-old was convicted of racketeering conspiracy, a law typically used to prosecute members of organized crime or violent street gangs.
Spank up, guys, spank up.
During the 6-week trial, prosecutors played recordings of Burke in the back rooms.
If we're not signed up, I'm not going to do any lifting for this guy. The cash register has not rung yet.
Prosecutors urged the jury to judge Burke on his own words, the ones recorded by his former fellow alderman, Danny Solis, who agreed to cooperate with the FBI when confronted with evidence of his own crimes. The panel of 9 women and 3 men deliberated for roughly 23 hours across 4 days before reaching its conclusion that Burke abused his public office trying to steer business to his private law firm and secure favors for friends.
In this case, defendant Burke had his hand out for money. He tied the giving of official action by him to the giving of money to him.
Using the federal RICO statutes allowed prosecutors to link seemingly unrelated crimes to show a pattern of criminal activity in 4 schemes involving the redevelopment of the Old Main Post Office, a Binny's Beverage Depot sign permit, a remodeling project at a Southwest Side Burger King, and an attempt to secure an internship at the Field Museum.
This case was about bribery and extortion occurring at the highest levels of Chicago city government. Our office represents the people of the United States. The people have a right to honest and open government.
The jury found Burke guilty on 13 of 14 counts after hearing from 38 witnesses, listening to 100 secret recordings, viewing hundreds of pages of documents, and using 350 pages of jury instructions as a guide to the law. The acting U.S. attorney says the guilty verdict serves as both a rebuke of Burke and a warning to his former colleagues on the city council.
And I'd like to think that public officials out there who are tempted to start down this path will be either further on notice that, the federal government is out there, the FBI is out there, the U.S. Attorney's Office is out there, and we're aggressively pursuing these type of matters.
Burke was on trial with 2 co-defendants, Portage Park businessman Charles Quay, who was also found guilty of bribery and lying to the FBI, and Peter Andrews, Burke's longtime aldermanic aide. He was found not guilty of attempted extortion and lying to the FBI. Burke will be sentenced on June 19th. That's 2 days after Quay's sentencing. Burke turns 80 years old 1 week from tomorrow.
The videos, the wiretaps, all effective. A lot for the jury to get through.
Certainly, all of these recordings and then 350 pages of instructions that they had to sort through in order to apply the law to all of this evidence that they saw over 6 weeks.
They hung in there. All right, thank you, Mike. And Jewel Hillary is joining us live with reaction to the verdict today.
Yeah, as you can imagine, reaction has come in from all across the board. And while it seemed like the former alderman was definitely stunned when that conviction came in, we did speak with some legal experts today who say they're not overly surprised by the jury's decision. Former 14th Ward Alderman Ed Burke, who served 54 years on the Chicago City Council, looked shocked as he was found guilty on 13 of 14 corruption charges against him. Former federal prosecutor Dylan Smith says while Burke had a competent defense team, Burke's own words during secretly recorded conversations took him down.
former Alderman Burke was really convicted based on his own words and demeanor.
Evidence during the 6-week trial uncovered that Burke, at one time considered one of the most powerful leaders at City Hall, corruptly solicited work for his private law firm from businesses involved in redevelopment projects. In response to Burke's conviction, Mayor Brandon Johnson says elected officials are responsible for serving with honesty and integrity, with a moral responsibility to their constituents to uphold and abide by the law. In the case that they fail to do so, it is imperative that they are held accountable. That is what the jury decided today. Former Mayor Lori Lightfoot, weighing in on today's decision, says, with the jury's verdict, Ed Burke should rightfully be remembered as a man who elevated personal ambition and greed over doing the people's work. Local political science expert Dick Simpson says during Mayor Lightfoot's administration, the city made major strides to curb corruption, but says today's verdict proves much more needs to be done.
After each of the major cases, like after the Blagojevich case, you did get reforms, it's just that they didn't go far enough.
The Illinois GOP reacting to Burke's racketeering, extortion, and conspiracy prosecution, saying Alderman Burke will finally be held accountable, much like Democrats Senator Sandoval, Senator Link, Governor Blagojevich, Congressman Jesse Jackson Jr., and the 38 other Chicago aldermen convicted in the last 50 years as we await Speaker Madigan's corruption trial. Attorney Smith believes prosecutors want to use Burke's conviction and ultimate sentencing to send a message to other corrupt politicians.
And I think one of the arguments you can expect to hear from the prosecutors at sentencing, as they ask for a hefty sentence, is that it's important for the judge to send a message to politicians out there that there are consequences to this kind of activity.
The schemes Burke is convicted of took place between 2016 and 2018 while he was an alderman. And of course, this is a huge fall from grace for this alderman who had served in city council beginning in 1969 up until earlier this year.
Yeah, historic day today.
Absolutely.
Jewel, thank you very much, Mike. Appreciate it. We'll continue to follow the developments in this guilty verdict of former Alderman Ed Burke throughout all of our newscasts. Mike will be back with more highlights on the News at 10. You can also find more reaction and details from the trial at WGNTV.com and on our WGN News app.